Hey everybody, Grizz here. Been a couple weeks, so let's do a fairly quick video here. Just gonna go over some stuff that we've talked about in the past, but I know I got a lot of new subscribers and newbies to the forum and on YouTube, so we'll just go over some basics because there are things that I get asked about all the time, consistently. So we'll just do it quick. A common thing people ask, how do you keep your brushes clean? Like I said, we've gone over this before. I'll just show you what I do. So I just take a couple cups, and in both of them, just some wash up liquid detergent, dish soap, just a few drops into each one. And then in one cup, I'm gonna add just some household ammonia. Just about a quarter of a cup, a third of a cup of ammonia, and that's it. Then just water into both cups, about halfway up. So I work on a lot of models at the same time. So for me, if I'm working on, like right now, I've probably got 20 pieces on the tables, maybe more. I'll go about 5 pieces with one coat, and then I'll come back and I'll clean my brush. So what I do is I'll go straight into the ammonia one with the ammonia and dish soap, and I'll just tap it around, shake it off, give it a shake on the floor, and then I'll go into the cleaner water, and again shake it off, and then you'll always get some rubber building up on the little metal part here, so just wipe that off and you're good to go. Now sometimes if you've done, say you're on your 3rd day of using the same brush, like for me, 2 days is a lot for me if I'm doing 40 coats in a day or more. That's a lot of rubber. You'll find you'll get little balls and nubs of rubber building up on the end. So go through your cleaning, do the ammonia one, go into this one, and then with a wire brush, just go to the edge of the table. I hope you can see that, I think so. And just hang the bristles over the edge, and you're just gonna run the wire brush up and down across it, and it'll pull off the little balls of rubber that are on there. Then you can go back into your plain detergent one, give it a couple dabs, shake, and a wipe, and you're good to go. If you're only doing 1 or 2 models, you could have the same brush for a long time. But I mean, I just buy cheap chip brushes, they're less than 50 cents a piece. So it's no big deal if they start getting mucked up and you have to throw it out. Important, cold water, don't use hot water. If you have hot water in and you stick your brush in there, it's gonna seize. The rubber will stick immediately to the brush, and then you're done. You just toss it in the garbage. So remember, cold water. And before I start the day, I usually have my brush just soaking in the water. I like to start with a wet brush when I go into my rubber. If you got a brand new brush, either just dip it or just run it under your tap a little bit, and then go to and start your brushing. What to do with what's left over? Do not put it down your sink. Do not put it in your toilet. Let it go outside and let the rubber get hard on it, and you'll be able to pull off a skin on it, and then you'll just be able to toss the water outside somewhere. Because what happens if you dump that down your sink, you're going to get a rubber buildup in your pipes, and your plumber's going to hate you, and you're not going to like the bill. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so that's the ABCs of brush cleaning. So now we'll just go to a few things. The other day, Webb, I've mentioned Webb before, the guy that makes me wear this t-shirt. He mentioned about for registry keys. I used to have the fellow who was the founder of this website. He used to have a vacuum seal, a vacuum plastic machine, and he could make all kinds of, like, for your simple models and stuff, he could put it in and make a mother mold for it. But he made me these big registry keys. Now the problem is they're a bit large for some of my smaller pieces. So what you can use is somebody on YouTube, I don't know if it was Tom, you know who you are, Tom. I can't remember if it was you or not. If it's somebody else, I apologize. He suggested, these are blister packs from medication. So apparently you can buy them on Amazon and eBay empty, but I looked and they're really expensive. A lot of them you have to buy 500 for, you know, a couple $100 unless there's another link, if somebody has another link available. So you can see they're just little plastic bubbles. So what you can do is you can cut them out and you just strip off the backing, and then you're left with this nice little plastic bubble, and it can be added to the seam on the back, or it can be added in the seam as a registry key. You can also use just different size pills. These are like the size like an allergy pill or what. You just peel that foil off the back. And what I've been using lately for a bunch of my smaller ones is just, this is a gum from some sugarless gum. And it's just got this little plastic wrapping on the back. You just pull that off and push it out, and you've got a nice little square plastic registry key. You can start off onto your piece. It's so hard to find these. I've been looking and looking and looking, and there used to be one in the States. A lady used to make them. She doesn't make them anymore. They're ridiculously hard to find. So just try and improvise. Look what you got. You don't have to go to any great expense. There are good products that you can use that are cheap, just sitting around. If you know someone who takes, like an elderly person who has one of these blister packs, just ask them to keep it for you, and you got some great registry key material. Something else too is Webb on his last video, he showed using for making seams. So here's a little piece here with the seam started. So I use magazine paper, and he showed great. What he has too is the thin for vertical blinds. You know that there's a plastic piece that you're a plastic vertical blind. They're quite thin for if you got a nice straight piece. They're great for using a seam. It was a good tip from him. So you can use those, magazine paper. Some people use this, you know, book dividers for inside of a 3-ring binder. The plastic, they're really good. And one other one is a guy that I know that I follow on Instagram. His name's Ian. He does large pieces, and he uses playing cards. And they're nice because there's like a lamination on them. They're nice and thin. They're cheap if you have to buy cards. I would buy cards because if you have cards sitting around that people play all the time, when people play cards, what do? They eat a lot of crap, chips and greasy stuff, and that residue is going to be on those cards, right? I mean, cards, if they're well used, they're probably pretty filthy. You're actually pretty disgusting, but when you think about it, but just get a deck. If they're cheap, you can pick up cards anywhere, but they make it great. They're nice and thin. He just goes around, he puts them on a whole piece because he's doing bigger than life size. He's just sticking them right on. But you just have to cut a strip, and they'd be a great little piece for doing seams. There's no need to go to any expense and buy some really expensive stuff to make seams. There's always stuff sitting around your house that you can use. So I'll just show you quick. I'm going to go over, I'm just going to grab the camera. I'm just going to show you what I got on the tables, and we can just chat about that fast. So hang on, bear with me. Hello. Okay. So I'll just show you here. Hope that's showing up all right. You can see these are the little gum sections that I was telling you about. But this is what I do. I just tape them on first. Sorry, I'm trying to do this back end. Here's the little pieces on here. I just tape them on, and then I'll add more magazine paper to the outside, and it works out great for little registry keys for your seam. And I'll just show you over here quick too. So this is a bigger one. This is on a big piece here for a bird bath base. But here are the blister packs you can see that I've used. So they're perfect too. You fill on one side and then the other side, and once you cut the seam, they'll click right into each other. So just wanted to show you that. So thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you again in a week or so. Bye-bye.